decide that this baby can go on breastfeeding from her own mother. Once the baby starts to suck their nipple, slowly the hypothalamus is stimulated, prolactin is released. This topic is like a thing. People should know about it. It should go to every single person, even in the villages.
That is so true.
Everyone should know that they can give their milk just like how we are taking our cow's milk.
Hey Dr. P.
Hi.
I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
What do you think about human breast milk donation?
Oh, that's a good question and not many people speak about it. Where did you hear about it then?
I have a friend who has just started, so I wanted to consult the Dr. P.
Is she having too much of breast milk production?
Yeah.
Like, is she feeding her baby and still her breastfeed feels full, or it's sagging because of the milk? Is it her condition?
I am not so sure of it, but I really want you to help me out so that I can help her out.
Okay then. Hi, I'm Dr. Priyanka, a gynecologist, and today my sister Shaks has asked me an awesome question about human milk donation. So let's speak something about that.
Dr. P, can you please tell me why breast milk is so much important, and are we really talking about it as much as it is supposed to be?
Okay, then breast milk is the liquid gold for the baby, and it is filled with nutrients, antibodies, and so much of growth factor. No liquid on this earth exists of that kind which can replicate a human breast milk.
Okay, so how does this donation thing work?
So speaking of donation, it's like, I'll give you a simple example. It's like cow milk. When the baby cow is fed on its mother, only after it's completely fed, the rest of the milk is taken up. The same thing goes with human as well. When the mother has fed her own baby completely with both the breast, only then, if at all after feeding for 40 minutes, still her breasts are full, then that is an indication that she is producing excess of breast milk. And that's when you're supposed to think of donation. And only then you're supposed to think only after you've fed your baby enough.
This topic seems to be a taboo topic, and how do we promote in our world now, be it any place of the world?
Yeah. Actually, there are certain places in world that are pro for donation, but in India, it's not so much. But yeah, it's going on in a very small scale, and very few small areas are promoting. But in a larger scale, this can help so many premature sick babies that are in the ICU, where because of the non-availability of the human milk, it is being replaced by the formula milk that replicates to human milk, but not exactly to the point of how human milk should be. But if the donation is on a larger scale, or if it becomes something like it is done by everyone, or not everyone, if it is possible by in a larger scale, in that case, then I think the premature treatment or the sick babies treatment will be at a higher scale. In India, the prematurity, the growth, like how we consider premature babies, is at the age of 28 weeks. But in UK, it is at 24 weeks. You can see there is a 4 weeks gap. The advancement that UK has is not the same advancement that India has.
Okay.
Just in case, if we have this human milk in the NICUs, that is neonatal ICUs, already in bulk and easily available, then even our premature age of the babies can be pushed back to maybe 26. Dheere dheere se we can make it to 26, 24, and also make it up to 24 weeks.
Okay, so whatever you explained, by that I understand that this is supposed to be stored for some times. And do you want to help me out with what is the shelf life of this milk?
Okay, so but thing is, human milk is just like any other milk, like cow milk, how it is stored in the fridge and all that. But this human milk needs a lot of processing. It has to be processed, and there's a lot of steps and back end things going on. The mother will just express her milk and it is given to next. No, it doesn't go like that way. The process is like the mother who wants to donate, they will feed their baby, and the next they will express extra of the breast milk. They will store in a certain kind of package. There is a certain package that is available for the breast milk. They will take it out and they will keep it in an ice cube container, and they give it to people who carry it to the processing unit. So there are certain people who actually carry this, And once there is a certain amount of milk that is being collected, then they go to the processing unit. In processing unit, again there are several steps. Like first, the milk has to be pasteurized, so that it can kill all the bacteria infection, and it has been also evaluated for all the infections like HIV, HVSAG, HCV, VDRL. All the things are being tested for it, and after that only the milk is pasteurized, and again it is tested. So there are certain tests that has to be done, that it says ki this milk is okay to be used by the next human, and then it is completely sealed and stored under minus degrees, or there is a certain degrees of minus degrees that you have to store it, and you can store it accordingly. And if you're storing in not very, like maybe minus 19, I guess you're supposed to store. If you're storing it minus 19 degrees, then it will go for 6 months. You can store up to 6 months in NIC or anywhere. If that the cold chain is maintained, then that can be done. Or if it is a little higher, I exactly don't remember the degree. If it is a little higher than 19 degrees, then it will go for 3 months. And this cold chain is very, very important for storage.
Lovely. So I wanted to know, the next question is, what age level of child can access this? Only those who are under breastfeeding age, like 1 to 2 or 3, or is that can be used for any other stuffs as well? I mean, for any other medicines, or it is just purely for the baby?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, there are two things. I can like partition into two things. One is exclusively for babies. This milk has to be used for those babies who are premature. As I told you, premature is 28 weeks and beyond, less than 37 weeks. The babies that are in NICU, who are sick, babies who are sick and they are in NICU. And they can be used up till 6 months for those babies who cannot feed on their mother's milk. Instead of using the formula milk, breast milk is the best choice. And the second spectrum comes is that just like we have this whey protein from the cow milk, okay, there are studies and also companies, I cannot say they are in a phase 4 trial, but there are certain companies that are planning on bringing whey protein from the human milk. So that has not become too much rampant. It is still in a phase 2 or phase 3 trials only, not in phase 4 yet. It's just like that.
So what you are saying is, for now it is just for the babies and the other...
Yeah. Exclusively for the babies who are in premature, who are very sick, who need breast milk as their treatment. It is exclusively for them. And also there are trials going on that are planning on taking out the protein from the human milk, just as a whey protein taken out from the cow milk. Just same like that.
Beautiful. So when you say we have to give this for premature babies, what happens to the mother who gives birth to the premature baby? Why don't they, secrete the milk?
Yeah. The thing is, when the baby is born 28 weeks and above, less than 36 weeks, the breast milk production is not so much developed in those women as the woman who has given birth after 37 weeks.
Okay.
And also for the woman who has given birth after 37 weeks, it takes 48 hours for the breast milk to completely come out. Okay. So there is a stage, that is, for the first 48 hours, there is a liquid called as colostrum. Mm-hmm. The first thing that comes in the breast is colostrum. That is not the breast milk. Everything is compared to cow's milk. How the cow's milk also produces colostrum, the same way human milk also produces colostrum. And after 48 hours, only then the actual breast milk starts to come. This 48 hours, the baby will be sucking the mother's nipples. When there is a stimulation to the nipples, there is an axis that stimulates the hypothalamus that secretes the prolactin, and from this prolactin the milk is produced.
But this you are telling for the babies who are taking
37, yeah, not just 37, who are ready to breast milk their baby.
So what about the female who has given birth, the premature baby?
So now the baby is premature. Now the baby is kept in NICU because it is premature, and there is a stages of premature. Say like 28 to 32 weeks. Babies will have not developed that suckling effect. Mm-hmm. that development only happens after 34 weeks.
Okay.
So babies who are 28 to 32 weeks, they cannot suck on the mother's milk because they don't have that stimulation developed as such. So babies in that age group are fed with a kadai. There's something called as kadai. That is
Kadai is a Hindi word?
Yeah, it is a Hindi word, but there is a certain shape to it.
That is easy and accessible by the baby to consume it?
No, it's like a spoon only. See, it's like a cup which is having a nozzle.
Okay.
Through which, just like you're putting amrut, when you're giving amrut to somebody or something like that, the same way, the babies are fed with that kadai. With that kadai, the babies are fed bit by bit, and 20 to 32 weeks babies cannot be fed completely just like a mature babies. So they are fed with kadai, and if the babies are about 34 weeks, again they are fed in a different manner.
Okay.
So once the baby is all okay, the pediatrician will decide that this baby can go on breastfeeding from her own mother. Then they start teaching the baby, because baby will have not learned from the birth at the age of 28 to 36 weeks. Baby will have not developed that suckling effect in their lips and this face muscles. So they need some training, and during that training we have to give some supplement. And because mother will have not fed for maybe 3 or 5 or how many days the baby is in ICU, maybe they must have not fed it. That secretion, that stimulation to the nipples, which has to stimulate hypothalamus, that process is not there.
Okay.
Once the baby starts to suck their nipple, slowly the hypothalamus is stimulated, prolactin is released, and the breast milk, dheere se, it will
gradually the process will happen only because the baby is premature and it is incapable of sucking on the nipples. That's when the mother is also not able to secrete the milk.
Yes, exactly.
Great. So my next question is,
just not premature babies, also sick babies.
Okay.
Who like there are a spectrum of sick babies who are in NICU and need formula milk. Human breast milk is the best one.
Okay. So these orphan babies, can they be fed with this?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's come to the commercial part of this. How any human, any individual who want to do this donation can go ahead with this?
Like how?
Like you said, only those who are producing excess of milk, they are the first one to be eligible to do that. So how do they go ahead? Because there are nothing as such so much publicized. How do I, as I told you, my friend is undergoing the same situation. How do I suggest her to go ahead? Because she is interested and hence I approached you.
Okay. The thing in India, I am speaking mainly of India. In India, this human breast milk donation is like a taboo. They think that if you're giving away your milk to somebody else, it's like you're not giving the milk to your own baby. They think that you are giving away your blood to someone else and not serving your baby. That taboo has to be broken. It's nothing like that. It's only when you're producing excess milk, that's when you're supposed to give it.
Okay.
And there is a very less knowledge, as I agree on this,
but are there stores like that
already? There are
stores.
In India, there are stores, but they are mostly government-based stores. Stores as in processing units, where a certain woman, there will be a certain woman or a team that educates the women in that sector. They educate about human milk donation and all of that. And so, once they feel they are ready, when they are knowledgeable about it and they feel that their breast milk is excess and they can give it away, this unit head will collect the blood and give it to the processing unit. And there are also private sectors, but very few. In India, there is lots of scarcity for human milk. Lots of scarcity. Very few. In Karnataka itself, there is, I think, only 2 centers. One is in our Bangalore Medical College. The other one, I'm not very sure. Just 2 units in Karnataka itself. And whole of the India taking, it's very less. I don't know the number, but it's very less.
I have heard something in Mumbai, but even I'm not sure of the hospital name or so. So these banks, they create a banks as such to collect the.
It's just like blood bank.
Okay.
How you donate your blood, the blood has been processed, the blood has been checked, and then it is stored.
And the
whenever there is a necessity
of that, they access.
That is blood bank, okay? The milk bank works like this, where they store it and they supply to NICUs.
Okay.
Whichever NICU will come and ask this milk bank that we need a certain set of human milk, then they give it to that NICU. The hospital that is taking the milk has to pay certain amount to the processing unit. That's how it is.
Okay. So going ahead, do you have a plan to open one?
It's my a dream project. It's in the very like a phase 1 trial right now. It needs lots of investment, and more than investment, research,
People.
very knowledge people, and the people who are ready to educate others and self-educate first and then educate others in a right manner, the right things. And I want to do it in a very large scale because India needs human breast milk. I have seen so many NICUs where they are giving formula milk and babies survive. It's not that baby don't survive. At that moment they survive. Have they even followed up that baby later on? If that baby has got any infection, how is the immunity? What is the thing? They have not followed up, or maybe they have followed up. There are no studies as such. If the baby is fed on formula milk, certain amount of formula milk, what is the follow up after 10 years? Nobody has done that. And what human milk does to the gut is that it produces good bacteria. It is like training. The breast milk is going to train your gut that you are supposed to produce good bacteria. But when you put the formula milk, the gut will not understand that this is the right thing. Now it is going to having that lactose intolerance. Is all because of that. It's all because of the formula milk that baby has been fed at the day 1 of its birth. This formula lactose intolerance that recent generation is
see
seeing.
these gut issues in recent generation because of that, is what you're saying?
That may be one of the reason. And also the babies that are breastfed very less I can say maybe not even 6 months.
Okay.
Then there are chances that that human can have immunity disorders, so immune disorders, something like this. The breast milk is one of the root cause. Less breastfed babies is one of the root cause for so many diseases further in their life. And we further in our life, when we become when we are adults and all that, we keep on searching for the root causes. What is this? Nobody goes back to the day 1 of our birth. Nobody goes back.
That's right. So how is the costing? What's the pricing? Is it accessible by a common layman, or it is again a costly one?
See, the ones that are in government hospitals, they're easily accessible. That's why they are in government hospitals. But once it is in private sectors, it becomes a little costlier. And obviously, when a baby is in NICU, the cost is like skyrocket. You can't hold on it. You cannot get a hold of it.
So maybe that is the reason why it is still under taboo, or do you think it has to be reduced? The cost has to be reduced so that it can be accessed by every layman who is in need of it.
Yeah. See, the NICU that I have told you already that in India, NICUs are not having adequate human breast milk. Most of the NICUs are going behind formula milks because they are easily available, less cost, and the glucose of the baby will be maintained easily with all this. They don't have to pay huge amount to buy the human milk.
Correct.
And also there is very less knowledge, very less donation happening. This thing is not there only. So it's like, even though the cost of the NICU is huge, it's not that they are pricing them for the human milk. They're pricing for some other factors. If they also add human milk, that would be a added advantage. It's like a liquid gold. You're giving a liquid gold to a baby. That's like a huge difference. Now that the very quaternary hospitals, they try to help the babies at 28 weeks and all that, they can help the babies survive at 24 weeks also, just like UK system.
Lovely. So doctor, that was so insightful of you. I am so glad that I consulted you, and I am definitely going to tell my friend to approach somewhere, do some research, and go approach the banks which are already established. And I wish you start one where that is an accessible one and it helps the common layman as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me here. And speaking on this topic is like a thing. People should know about it. it should go to every single person, even in the villages.
That is so true.
Everyone should know that they can give their milk just like how we're taking our cow's milk. It's just like that. So I want it to be as normal as anything.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what is my aim, and I hope this dream project becomes a reality one day sooner.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
here. Thank you.
Thank you.